Engage the limiter. The track temp is 40 Celsius. Okay, Geordie, get ready.
We're on the bottom. Pit road is closed. You're going to be lining up behind the 16. Two things to keep in mind. One, again, you do have an in-car camera. The other, there is a lot of debris that typically flies around this place, so we'll keep an eye on our water temperature throughout the day. Make sure you got all your stuff where you need it, but you're ready to go. Pace car's off. Are you ready? You ready? Green flag, green flag. Have a great day. Got a slow car up there in front of you. Go low, go low. Caution's out, caution's out. Earl, you sure you got your release mark correct coming into pit road? Yes, I do, sir. Closed, pit road's closed. You'll be lining up behind at 14.
Please 13th place. Sector 1 time is good.
The road will be open.
Sector 2 is 5.1 seconds off the pace. Look out for the pit speed limit. Track's clear. Push, push, push. Disengage limiter.
Can line up behind the 14.
You just put the apron out of it or just come around on it?
They could be lining up behind the 14. One to go. Two. 0.117.
That's your fastest lap. Sector 1 time's okay. Sector 1 is quick.
Come on, let's tighten it up, man.
Drag those brakes a little bit, get a little bit of heat in those rotors. Oh, that pace car's off, everybody be on the toes. Green flag is out. Outside. Still outside.
Bad luck, Geordie. Come on, don't let him get away. P15. You've just done a 56.8. That's your fastest lap. Stay close. Wait for him to crack. The leader has just done a 19.1. Fastest lap for Fleming, 18.6. We're looking all right here. Keep your concentration nice and smooth. That's your fastest lap today. The car ahead has just done a 19.0. Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace. The leader's just done a 17.3. New fastest lap for Fleming, 17.1. That was a 17.2. Good lap. That's your quickest today. The guy ahead has just done a 17.2. Sector 3 time's okay. The leader's just done a 17.0. Sector 2's 2/10 off the pace.
Still there, quarter.
The guy in front is Paul. Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace. Stay close, see if we can unsettle him. Sector 2 is 0.2 off the pace.
17.7.
Okay, Geordie, double chances here. Let's make sure we can take them. P15. That last lap was a 17.8. Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 1.
Working outside. Still out there. 17.364.
P14. That lap was a 17.4. Abbott, nice one.
Still inside. Still there.
Sector 2 is 0.4 off the pace.
17.9.
That last lap was a 17.9. Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace. Come on, we need to be in front of this guy. Sector 2 is 0/10 off the pace.
17.231.
Stay on it, keep digging. That's your quickest lap. The guy ahead has just done a 17.3. Sector 2 time is good.
Outside quarter. 17.117.
Good lap. That's your quickest today. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 1.
Quarter. Clear outside.
Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace.
17.75.
14th. Sector 2 is 0.5 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.4 off the pace.
17.78.
The car ahead is Collins. Sectors 1 and 3 are 0.3 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.4 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.7 off the pace. Don't be distracted. Defend your position. Sector 2 is 0.3 off the pace.
18.044.
Okay, mate, watch for a mistake. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 2.
17.49.
That was 17.5. Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace.
Lower outside.
Well done, Jordy. Great move. Keep it up.
Inside. Clear if you need it. 17.778.
P13. Keep the pressure on. Don't give him any respite.
Outside. Still there. Clear, clear, clear. 17.63.
Sector 3 is 0.6 off the pace. Slow in, fast out. Keep the inside line covered. Sector 1 is 0.5 off the pace. You've just done a 17.6. Sector 2 is 0.3 off the pace.
17.794.
That lap was a 17.8. Keep the pressure on. Don't give him a break. B13. That lap was a 17.7.
Horses at the top. Still out there. Inside.
Sector 2 time is okay.
17.8.
Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace. Sector 2 time is okay. Sector 3 is 0.7 off the pace. You're losing time here, man. We need to pass him.
Outside. Still out there. 17.981. Still out there. Clear, clear.
You need to find a 10th in Sector 3. Sector 2 is 0.4 off the pace.
17.831.
13th place. That was 17.6. Sector 3 time is quick. Come on, find the gap. Sector 2 is 2/10 off the pace.
17.753.
Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace. Sector 2 is 2/10 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.1 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace.
Outside, outside. In and out. 18.2.
B12.
9. Still outside.
Sector 3 is 0.6 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.6 off the base.
18.38.
That last lap was a 18.4.
Inside. Clear.
Come on, nail him already. Sector 2 is 0.5 off the base.
Outside, outside. 18.113. Clear, clear.
You've just done a 18.1. Sector 1 is 0.7 off the base.
18.293.
That last lap was a 18.3. Sector 2 is 0.4 off the base.
18.011.
V12, you've just done a 18.0. Sector 1 is 0.5 off the base. Sector 2 is 0.4 off the base.
Outside, outside. 17.95.
Sector 1 is
Clear,
0.6 off the base. Sector 2 is 0.4 off the base. Sector 3 is 0.1 off the base. Come on, pass him already.
18.15.
That lap was a 18.2. Sector 1 is 0.7 off the base.
Outside. Clear, clear.
We need to find a tent in Sector 2.
18.207.
That was a 18.2.
Outside. 17.
Okay, Geordie, keep it nice and smooth. Come on, let the race come to us. V12, that was a 18.0. Sector 1 is 0.6 off the base. Sector 1 is 0.5 off the base.
Outside. Still there. 18.013. Clear outside.
P11, great move. Keep it up. Sector 3 is 0.3 off the base. Let's see how wide you can make this thing.
17.666.
You're a tenth off the pace in Sector 2.
17.338.
That last lap was a 17.3. You're 2 tenths off the pace in Sector 1. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. There's a car leaving the pits.
Outside. 17.57.
That lap was a 17.6. Sectors 1 and 3 are 0.3 off the pace. Your Sector 2 time is quick. Sector 2 is 0.3 off the pace.
17.95.
Keep searching, you'll find a gap. P10, you've just done a 18.0. Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace.
Still there.
Sector 2 is 0.4 off the pace. Well done, Geordie. Nice move, mate. P9.
0.11.
Sector 3 is 0.4 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.3 off the pace.
17.665.
That lap was a 17.7. Sectors 1 and 3 are 2 tenths off the pace. We need to find a tent in Sector 2. You're 2 tenths off the pace in Sector 2.
17.622.
You've just done a 17.6. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 2's 2/10 off the pace.
17.592.
P9. You're a tenth off the pace in Sector 2.
17.624.
That last lap was a 17.6. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. You're a tenth off the pace in Sector 2. Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace.
17.673.
That was a 17.7. Sector 3 is 0.2 off the pace.
17.519.
P9. You've just done a 17.5.
17.811.
You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 1.
17.719.
Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace.
17.873. Clear.
Sector 3 is 0.2 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.5 off the pace.
18.175.
E9. Sector 1 is 0.5 off the pace. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 1.
17.906.
Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace.
17.753.
That was a 17.8. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 1.
17.953.
The leader is pitting now. Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 2.
Get him out of the way, Earl. 10-4. I'm on it. 18.022.
P9. Sector 3 is 0.1 off the pace.
Working the bottom. Clear, clear, clear. 18.224.
Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 2 is 2/10 off the pace.
18.141.
7th position. Sector 1 is 0.6 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace.
Come on, Earl, get him by there. 17.973.
That lap was at 18.0.
Outside.
Sector 1 is 0.5 off the pace.
Clear, clear, clear. Outside. Still there. 18.0.
That last lap was at 18.1. Sector 3 is 0.6 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0 tenths off the pace.
17.888.
P5. Don't wait too long, find that gap. Sector 1 is 0.5 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.5 off the pace. Sector 3 is 1.2 seconds off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.4 off the pace.
18.173.
You've just done a 18.2. Sector 3 is 0.4 off the pace.
Outside. Outside, still there. 18.191.
E6. Sector 3 is 0.4 off the pace. Bad luck, mate. Sector 2 is a second off the pace.
Start looking for your sign. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop on the sign.
There's traffic behind. Keep your wits about you.
Outside. Cleared. .762.
P12. Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace. You're a tenth off the pace in Sector 2.
Outside. 17.
The leader's pitting now. Sector 1 is 0.5 off the pace.
Outside if you want it. Leader's on pit road.
Alright, Geordie, there's a car exiting the pits. Heads up.
17.387.
Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 2 time is good.
17.18.
P11. That last lap was a 17.2. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. Your Sector 2 time is quick. Sector 3 time is fast. You're 2 tenths off the pace in Sector 1.
Outside. 17.16.
You're 2 tenths off the pace in Sector 1. You're a tenth off the pace in Sector 2. Sector 3 time's okay. The lead car's pitting. Heads up, there's a car exiting the pits. Sector 2's 2 tenths off the pace.
17.207.
Sectors 1 and 2 are 2 tenths off the pace. Sector 3 time is quick.
Still there, your door. Clear, clear, clear.
There's a car leading the pit lane. Sector 2 is 0.4 off the pace.
17.592.
E9. Sector 3 is 2 tenths off the pace. The car ahead's pitting now. Sector 2 time is good.
I have to say, the competition has been mighty cordial today. 17.0.
Nail every corner. Let's take whatever chances we can. P8. That's your quickest lap.
What do you have there, bud? Closed.
Sector 2 is 0.7 off the pace.
Doing a good job. Got a long ways to go yet. You're behind the gate.
That was 22.2. Sector 3 is 4.3 seconds off the pace.
They could be lining up behind the 4.
Sector 2 is 7.5 seconds off the pace. The leader's pitting now.
Yeah, that was untimely.
Sector 3 is 16 seconds off the pace. Sector 1 is 13 seconds off the pace.
Pit road is open. You'll be lining up behind the 4.
The lead car's pitting. That's half distance. You're looking good for fuel. Sector 3 is 14 seconds off the pace. Sector 1 is 16 seconds off the pace. Sector 2 is 16 seconds off the pace.
The 4.
P8. Your lap times are dropping off. Come on, stay focused.
One to go. Pit road closed. 4.307.
P7. That lap was a 104.3.
4. You're going to have to come around this pace car. Lining up behind the 4.
Sector 1 is 5.8 seconds off the pace. Alright Geordie, there's a car exiting the pits, heads up.
27.324.
That last lap was at 27.3. Sector 1 is 5.9 off the pace. Sector 1 is 2.1 seconds off the pace.
Coming to the green here. Pace cars off. Ready. Green flag, green flag. 32. 17.787.
Sector 1 is 1.8 seconds off the pace. Sector 2 is 5.1 seconds off the pace. Sector 3 is 8.1 seconds off the pace.
They know you're coming.
That lap was a 18.8. Sector 1 is 1.1 seconds off the pace. We need to find a tent in Sector 2.
17.50.
E7. Sector 1 is quick. Sector 2 is 0.3 off the pace. You're a tenth off the pace in Sector 3. Sector 2 is 0.3 off the pace.
17.467.
That was 17.5.
Outside.
Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace.
Still outside. Clear high. 17.608.
You've just done a 17.6. You're 2 tenths off the pace in Sector 3. Sector 2 time is okay.
17.369.
Sector 3 is 0.1 off the pace. E7. You're 2 tenths off the pace in Sector 3. You're a tenth off the pace in Sector 2.
17.206.
Sectors 1 and 2 are a tenth off the pace. You're 2 tenths off the pace in Sector 3. We need to find a tent in Sector 2.
17.195.
Sector 3 is 0.2 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.6 off the pace.
Just let me know if you want a round station, and I know you're a lot quicker.
17.535.
P6, that was 17.5. The car behind is pitting. You're a tenth off the pace in Sector 2.
17.224.
That last lap was 17.2. There's a car leaving the pits. Sector 2 is 0.6 off the pace.
17.687.
You've just done a 17.7. Sector 2 is 0.4 off the pace.
17.806.
Sector 2 is 0.4 off the pace. Sixth place. That lap was 17.7. Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 3 is 2 tenths off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace.
17.936.
That lap was 17.9. Sector 2 is 0.6 off the pace. You're 2 tenths off the pace in Sector 1. Sector 2 is 2 tenths off the pace.
17.369.
You've just done a 17.4. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace.
17.566.
Sector 3 is 0.1 off the pace. Sector 2 is 2/10 off the pace.
17.52.
Okay, Geordie, come on, stay focused. Apexes and exits, apexes and exits. B6, that was 17.5. Sector 3 is 2/10 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. That last lap was 17.5. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 3. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 2.
17.599.
You're losing 2/10 in Sectors 2 and 3. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 1.
17.494.
6th place. That lap was 17.5. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 3. That last lap was 17.7. Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.3 off the pace.
17.725.
You've just done a 17.7. Sector 3 is 2/10 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.2 off the pace.
17.707.
That was 17.7. Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace. We need to find a 10th in Sector 2.
17.532.
P6. Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace.
They know you're coming.
Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace. Sector 2 time is okay. Sector 3 is 0.2 off the pace. You're a 10th off the pace in Sector 2.
Outside. 17.718. Clear outside.
Sector 3 is 0.4 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.6 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace. Okay, Geordie, there's a car exiting the pits, heads up. Sector 2 is 2/10 off the pace.
17.838.
This is terrific, exactly what we came here for. P5, you've just done a 17.8. Sector 1 is 0.5 off the pace. Heads up, there's a car rejoining.
17.971.
That last lap was 18.0. Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 2.
17.734.
Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. That was 17.7. Sector 2 is 0.3 off the pace.
Outside. Clear. Good job.
Sector 2 is 0.4 off the pace.
Those lappers on the way, Earl. 4. 18.34.
P5, that lap was at 18.3.
That's it, man. Get up to his bumper.
Watch your speed limit in the pits. Watch your speed.
Start looking for your sign. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop on the sign.
Limiter's still on. Disengage it. Car approaching. Watch your mirrors.
Lap traffic up here.
Okay, Jordy, the next car is white P9. Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace. There's a car exit in the pits.
17.5, 3, 2.
That was 17.5.
Outside, clear high.
Well done, mate, that was great. There's a car rejoining. Sector 2 is 0.2 off the pace.
17.386.
7th position. You've just done a 17.4. Your sector 2 time is quick.
16.94.
That last lap was a 16.9. That's your fastest lap. Sector 1 is 0.2 off the pace. That lap was a 17.0. You're a 10th off in Sector 1. You're a 10th off the pace in Sector 1. Sector 2 time is good.
16.788.
We're setting the pace.
Outside.
Sector 3 time is fast.
Come out there. All clear.
Your Sector 2 time is quick.
17.066.
P7, that lap was a 17.1. You're 2/10ths off the pace in Sector 1. You're 2/10ths off the pace in Sector 1. Sector 2 time is good.
Outside. 17.456. Still outside. Still outside. Clear.
Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.2 off the pace. Sector 3 time's okay. Sector 3 time is fast. Sector 2 time is okay.
16.92.
P7, that last lap was a 16.9. You're a 10th off the pace in Sector 1. You're a 10th off in Sector 1. That was a 16.9. You're a 10th off the pace in Sector 1. There's a car rejoining in front. Your Sector 2 time is quick.
17.077.
Sector 3 time is quick. Sector 2 time is okay.
Leader pit road.
The leader is pitting now.
17.01.
Alright, Geordie, there's a car exiting the pits, heads up. Sector 2 time is good.
17.105.
E7, you've just done a 17.1. Sector 3 time's okay.
17.114.
That lap was a 17.1. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 1. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 1. Sector 2 time is okay.
17.099.
That was a 17.1. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 1. You're a 10th off the pace in Sector 2.
17.397.
You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 1. You're a 10th off the pace in Sector 2. Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace.
17.404.
7th position. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace.
He knows you're coming.
You've just done a 17.3. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace. We need to find a 10th in Sector 2. Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.5 off the pace.
18.229.
That last lap was a 18.2. Sector 3 is 0.4 off the pace.
18.013.
Keep it nice and smooth. Come on, let the race come to us. E7. Sector 1 is 0.6 off the pace.
Outside. 18.192. Still outside.
Sector 1 is 0.6 off the pace.
Still out there. Still out there. 18.063. Clear high.
You've just done a 18.1. Sector 3 is 0.4 off the pace.
Still there on your quarter outside. Clear.
Sector 2 is 0.3 off the pace.
Outside. 18.018. Still outside.
That was a
Clear
18.0.
high. Lap off, talking to him now. 17.695.
E7. That last lap was a 17.7. You're a 10th off the pace in Sector 2.
17.49.
Sectors 1 and 3 are 0.3 off the pace. We need to find a 10th in Sector 2.
Working at the top. Still there. Clear outside.
Sector 2 is 0.2 off the pace.
18.018.
That lap was a 17.6. Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace.
There at the bottom. Clear. Inside. Still inside. 17.5.
7th position. That was 17.5. Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.7 off the pace.
18.16 outside.
Okay, mate, we really think you should pass this guy. That lap was at 18.2. Sector 1 is 0.7 off the pace. Come on, Geordie. Good stuff. Keep it coming. Sector 1 is 0.6 off the pace.
18.024.
6th place. You're a 10th off the pace in Sector 2.
17.513.
P5. That last lap was at 17.5. You're 2 tenths off the pace in Sector 3.
Five out. Keep taking that. 17.6.
They've just done a 17.6. You're 2 tenths off the pace in Sector 3. Sector 2's 2 tenths off the pace.
17.681.
You've got about 4 laps of fuel left. Sector 3's 2 tenths off the pace.
Inside.
Sector 2 is 0.3 off the pace.
Still inside, even up. 17.90.
1 more to go. Sectors 1 and 3 are 0.4 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.3 off the pace. P5, there's the finish. Well done.
Check the flag. Well done, my friend. Well done.